Okay, so again, you've been in education for 44 years.
Yeah, I'm actually going on 45th year. So again, starting out as a special education teacher, assistant principal at a junior high, and high school principal, which again, that's why you get white hair. It used to be gray, but now it's white. I used to be a really, really big hulky guy, but the kid always beat you down to this, and I'm just teasing. But all to say, it was great and really, really formative work for me, and I really enjoyed it to meet young people where they are and the families, and work with our educators to try and build skills and change lives. And that was a great chapter. Then served as an associate superintendent for Sand Spring Schools, working on curriculum and instruction, working on bond planning, working on long range plans, and those types of things of community building. Left there after 29 years, and then landed at Tulsa Tech for about 14, almost 15 years. Served on the cabinet level, working on executive plans in partnership with business and industry to put additional school programs and career tech electives in our high schools, also to help young people and young adults, even older adults, to perhaps change their tax bracket by getting some certifications and getting out there to do real work, which is really a very satisfying kind of work to have done. Retired, and we're spending our lives with our grandchildren and living our best life. Then was called to try and work for the University of Oklahoma as a lecturing professor there, serving and working with people that are working on their master's and doctoral level work to work in the Educational Leadership and Policy Studies program. And then here we are. All of a sudden, circumstances change and politics began to flip upside down, and the candidate that I was pulling for had to withdraw from the race, and challenged me and others challenged to say, please take a run. And so we did, and here we are, Erin. It's a unique feeling, very unique feeling.
Did you feel Rob Miller was the best candidate at the time, and that's why this kind of helped launch your campaign?
That's a great question. John Cox is a friend of mine. I have voted for John. I have actually contributed to his campaign before. John had tried a couple of 2 or 3 times. Rob had chosen to join the mix. I celebrated both of those colleagues trying to be in there because our hope was that we could get an educator to be in this space. Whether it was Rob or John, that was the opportunity. I did campaign for Rob. He's a good colleague and a good friend as well. So he was the one that I was trying to support. Not that I wasn't trying to support John either, but again, my hope was that both of those colleagues would have landed there. But Rob, obviously, because of his wife's passing unexpectedly, had to withdraw from the race and challenged me, along with a couple of other people who said, Robert, we could use your effort to try. And so we coalesced and had a long conversation with my wife and my daughter, who said, Dad, why do we need to do this? Is it your calling? Is it something you think that you can change? And I would say, well, I love you, and can you ride with me, and can you stay the course? And it was hard, really a tough decision. And they said, but let's at least give it a try, Dad. And so here we are. Here we are. It's a roller coaster of emotion. It really is.
In this current climate, what will be your first priority as superintendent?
I feel like I've already won to some degree, whether we advance or whether we don't, because I've just tried to remind people that educators are trying really hard, and we need to celebrate this profession. We have, for far too long, beaten teachers about the shoulders, reminded them that they're the problem, and that couldn't be further from the truth. They are the solution to our problem. We just don't have enough of them. And our state really and truly, perhaps, can make a pivotal move and begin to shift and work in a targeted way to rebuild this workforce. My work at Tulsa Tech and with Career Tech reminded workforce is really essential to economic development. And we've never had the educational crisis of the lack of people coming into our profession, the number of people that we're having to emergency certify and serve as adjuncts. We've never had this crisis. And I think if we want to see educational outcomes improve, we must rebuild and support our teachers differently than we ever have before. And I saw it happen when I was young, particularly in the Vietnam War. We were really ugly to young people who went over and served in that ugly, terrible conflict. And we treated them really, really badly. And today we celebrate Vietnam War veterans as heroes, and we should have done it when they were 19 and 20 coming back. It's the same phenomenon with educators. We need to, I'm not trying to parallel what teachers are doing and compare that to the service of a war veteran, but what I am saying is the context is the same of how you celebrate people. and we need to celebrate our educators. And so I feel like I've won because I've at least been able to talk about that for about 70 days.
How do we fix this, what seems like a political attack against education?
Oh, number one, you elect a person who's not going to be ugly to educators. That's the number one. That's the number one goal. And number two is you begin to work with policymakers. You begin to work with tribal leaders. You begin to work with business and industry partners to say, how can we collectively support educators differently? Compensation, the way that we celebrate their professional development efforts, the way that we try to incent them to either get into the profession, perhaps standing down student loans, perhaps giving them waivers to get into the profession, perhaps paying them while they're doing their intern teaching. Those are the kind of things of strategy that I think we can do more effectively.
Do you feel your current opponent might have some of the priorities and policies as our previous leadership?
You know, that's been a criticism. I've worked with him in some debates and some forums. He speaks similarly of some of those past practices. He is much more sophisticated and much more kind in the way he goes about the work, but I'm fearful that some of the same policies will perhaps be his legacy. And so again, I don't want to take a chance. I just don't think we can take a chance at this point in time. Maybe another time his footprint would be the right one. I just feel like for today, we need to make sure that we have an experienced, seasoned, tested leader that has educational experience in the educational leadership space in that role.
You were on the statewide virtual charter school board.
I was.
What was that experience like with St. Isidore?
Oh my goodness, that's a really bold question. It went all the way, decisions were made and landed in all kinds of what you consider to be different camps of thought, depending upon which legal scholar you would speak to. But at the end of the day, I chose to say it doesn't align with our Constitution in regard to what their application was seeking, which was to use taxpayer dollars to fund a religious charter school. There were legal scholars who said, no, that needs to be tested in the courts. I said, as our board, serving as the chair, we've been told by our legal counsel it doesn't align with our state's constitution, and so I voted no, and I refused to sign the agreement, even though my vote was outweighed in a 3-2 decision at the board level. It goes on to the state Supreme Court. Those machinations were long and arduous to watch, but our state Supreme Court voted 8-2 not to approve that, which felt affirming of the decision that I had made along with another colleague. But then that wasn't enough because the Archdiocese and all of the legal entities from an outside of Oklahoma interest were pushing this agenda to get it to the state or to the U.S. Supreme Court. It goes all the way there. It ends in a 4-4 split. It remands back to the Oklahoma decision. And so here we are. But I don't think that test is completely finished because there's another proposal that's being made by a school, a Jewish-based faith school from Florida. And they're asking the same question. And so I suspect that it will probably work its way through the courts. So I would say that was an arduous process, but I learned a lot through that there are a lot of national interests who are not really favoring and supporting public education nearly the way I would want them to support it. And they see that school choice that has religious perspectives is also their agenda. And so, again, I suspect at some point it will come back to the U.S. Supreme Court and it will be decided. So I think Oklahoma has been a test case, to be honest with you. And so being a part of that, I learned a lot. I watched, again, the machinations behind the scenes, and it was pretty daunting to watch. A lot of resources, a lot of money were being spent toward that agenda.
You mentioned experience with special education.
Yes, ma'am.
That has to be an especially challenging time to hire those teachers.
Erin, we have, again, never seen the lack of people that are coming into the profession that said, I want to be a special education teacher. It's hard, it's difficult, and the resources are not nearly as strong as we need them to be, and yet parents are clamoring for more resources because we have a lot of special needs students who do need a lot of resources. But again, if the clamor is for more, but we have fewer people to do that work, it's just the divide continues on. And so from a special education teacher and from an advocate of a long-standing place of including people with disabilities in all of our walks of life, and particularly in school. I feel like at least I'm a voice to that end, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how hard I clap and how much I want to bark. If the resources and the people are not there, we can't meet the needs as effectively as we need to, and somehow we need to figure out how to balance that. So we've got to figure out how to incent more people to get into this profession, particularly as special education teachers, occupational therapists, physical therapists, and speech and language pathologists as well.
A lot of getting those resources and that money does have to do with having a legislative relationship. Do you think that that might be a challenge for you, given you said politics wasn't something that you have a strong history in?
I don't think so, because I've been working with people for 44 years. And so you can't be a school leader without meeting people where they are and finding commonality and finding common purpose. I think the legislators want education to succeed. I think they want families to be served effectively. They want our communities to have the economic development that comes from an educated workforce and a trained workforce. They want that. I just think we've been too scattered and diffused. And so I think we have to come together, target our efforts, and be wise about how we invest it and how we go about trying to support that.
Anything else that maybe you want to add that I didn't mention?
Yeah, I think a couple of things that I've done strategically over the years that I think are helpful. One, school security has always been a priority. Before federal grants were even an opportunity, I worked in partnership with our local police department to put armed student resource officers in our schools, because we just believe that when people feel more safe, they feel more comfortable. Therefore, kind of like the Maslow's hierarchy, you begin to move off of that just survival. You move to a place of being able to really focus on your learning and focus on interactions. Did the very same thing when we did get some federal dollars to put in there. Did the very same thing in support at Career Tech, where we have partnerships with our local sheriff's department. I think school safety is a really big issue throughout the state. We've seen it in Pauls Valley even most recently, about how that almost tragically unfolded, and heroically, a principal intervenes, and you're thinking, my gosh, how could that have unfolded differently? And you try and learn from those things, and we try to remind ourselves that we can't take anything for granted, even in really small schools. We cannot take anything for granted in the name of school security. We live in a really dangerous society sometimes, and that seems to be daunting. So that is a high priority, to make sure that we're trying to help support what we can in regard to don't turn away federal dollars that can help us in regard to putting grants in places to use to make school security a priority as well. I also want to say that we've done some things strategically over the years in regard to learning platforms. So we started an e-school network long before the pandemic, long before virtual learning came about as vogue. And we did that out of necessity, because we were suspending far too many young people for long-term suspensions. And when you suspend someone for a long term, you pretty much are ensuring that they're going to fail. So we started trying some virtual learning options, and it started to work, and we started to grow it. And so in Sand Springs, it kind of grew to Union and Broken Arrow, and we ultimately created 21 school districts, and we created this e-school network. Saved taxpayers millions of dollars, because we shared resources and we shared learning and professional development activities. And then when I started to work for Tulsa Tech, we grew that even further. And now it's a statewide model, because it's now taken over. It's called the Horizons program. Because I was on the statewide virtual charter board, I challenged them to say, I think we can scale this. And it's a statewide program, and it saved millions of dollars. And it was the forerunner to what we consider to be really good opportunities for students to have another option, another choice of how that they can go about augmenting their middle school and high school and even elementary experience with some virtual learning. It's not for everybody. I did my doctoral research on virtual learning and technology integration. I also think it's important that we try to figure out how to harness artificial intelligence. Enid Public Schools has done some partnership with Oklahoma State University. I think we can learn from that. We will not be able to put this genie back in a bottle, and I think schools are going to have to figure out how we can harness this and use this to our advantage. So that's another option and another choice that I think we'll see at the ready in not in the next 10 years, not in the next 5, but in the next 5 months. So we've got much work to do, Erin.
With anything that's changing, I know even in my industry, it's tough to get people who have been in it to make those changes. I'm sure AI seems very overwhelming for some of these teachers.
Well, to me, it is reminiscent of what we started to do when we started with virtual learning. Some people said, just an easy out. Students, it's not an authentic way for students to learn. And so again, that was why I was interested in doing my doctoral research on that. And for some students and some families, it absolutely works really well. And so I think artificial intelligence is very similar. It's the unfamiliarity, the fear of what this means and what it will do to us or not help us with. But the reality is we're all using it right now. It's ever present. And in schools, it's just how do we use this effectively? Because a student today can draft a 5-paragraph essay in 6th grade at a touch of a button, and you won't know any differently that they wrote it or somebody else wrote it unless you go back and you look at how they wrote when they were in the 5th grade without that. So the sophistication is really is impressive, but it's also a little daunting. And so teachers have to learn how to use this effectively and harness that work so that we can elevate learning outcomes and it be authentic ways for people to know, okay, yes, that student does know how to use this effectively.